What is the base effect in inflation reporting? Have you ever wondered why inflation rates can seem to jump around so much from month to month? The answer often lies in something called the base effect. This concept is essential for understanding how inflation is reported and interpreted. The base effect refers to how the price level from a previous period influences the calculation of current inflation rates. When we measure inflation, we often look at the percentage change in a price index compared to the same month in the previous year. If prices were unusually low or high during that base period, it can distort the current inflation rate. This can make it appear higher or lower than what is actually happening in the economy. For instance, if inflation was very low last year during a specific month, even a small increase in prices this year can lead to a high inflation rate. This is because the starting point was so low. On the flip side, if prices rose sharply last year, a similar increase now might show a lower inflation rate since the base is already high. This arithmetic effect is why inflation rates can sometimes seem misleading when viewed year over year without considering the base effect. When we look at annual inflation figures, this phenomenon becomes even more important. Annual inflation is a slower-moving measure that compares current prices to those from 12 months ago. The change in annual inflation from one month to the next depends on both current monthly price changes and the price changes that occurred in the same month a year earlier. This means that monthly inflation movements from the previous year can significantly influence the reported annual inflation rate today. In practice, this means that even if prices are rising month to month, the annual inflation rate can decline if the base period had unusually high price increases. Conversely, annual inflation might accelerate if the base period had low price increases. This interplay can cause headline inflation to show temporary spikes or slowdowns that reflected past price volatility rather than current economic conditions. Understanding the base effect is vital for analysts and policymakers. It helps them interpret inflation trends more accurately by distinguishing true price movement from distortions caused by the choice of comparison period. This is also why core inflation measures, which exclude volatile items like energy, are often used alongside headline inflation to provide a clearer picture of underlying inflation pressures. To sum it up, the base effect is a key factor in inflation reporting that arises from comparing current prices to a previous period with atypical price levels. It affects the interpretation of annual inflation rates and explains why inflation can appear to change direction even when prices continue to rise monthly. Recognizing the base effect is essential for understanding inflation dynamics and making informed decisions based on inflation data.